Buongiorno. This is more or less the only Italian I know. Thank you very much for inviting me. I spent a whole week here with Liberato and see a bit of Italy, and we work together on the Profiles project now for nearly 3 years. And Liberato asked me to give you a bit of an idea what other Profiles partners are doing. And as you see, I'm from the University of Bremen. If you don't know where it is, this is Bremen. It's in the far northwest of Germany. And there might be a few things of Bremen that you know. For example, you might know that Bremen is the house of Beck's beer, which is one of the most famous beers in the world. It's still everywhere. You're from Italy, you might be familiar with football. This is Werder Bremen. It's just 10 minutes walk from my flat is a stadium. You might know the tale of the Bremen musicians, which is a very, very famous tale about some old animals. And this is a Bremen Market Square. It's a part of the UNESCO World Cultural Heritage, like some parts in Italy too. And we are very proud of that. And also Bremen is the home of the only sailing ship in the world having green sails, owned by the brewery. So, any questions? Do you understand? Okay.
Ha introdotto Bremen per quale motivo è famosa questa città?
So, a bit more technical. This picture on the left is the University of Bremen, which is a bit outside the city, and the red point is a department of biology and chemistry where my group is sitting. This is my research group at the University of Bremen. At the moment we have 7 PhD students and about 20 master students per year, and my group consists of some people who are there as staff. This is my group, and we are part of the Profiles network. What I want to tell you today about is a bit how we cooperate with schools, partnership between schools and the university. And about 15 years ago, we developed a very unique model which is now applied in a lot of different countries in the world. And this model tries to bring together the expertise of researchers in education, the knowledge that we know from research, all the things that are written in books, with the experience and the intuition of teachers. So we bring together the knowledge we have, together with teaching experiences and the intuition, and then we try things out. We develop some new plans, we test, we evaluate, we revise, as long as everyone is happy. And we stop in the moment that also the students are happy. So we ask not only the teachers, but also the students, whether some new innovations are good for them. In the end, we will come to some new teaching materials, but also to develop practice in school. And this is theory, so I will come back to 3 examples to illustrate a little bit more on that. Some years ago, the teachers in the group said, we have some problems in teaching analytical chemistry. It's boring to the students are not interested in, it's far away from their life. And so we said, maybe we should start teaching about analytical chemistry with some people the students really know and have an idea with. I gave a talk about that some months ago in the United States, and I was talking about teaching chemistry from Lance Armstrong to Jan Ullrich. You know Lance Armstrong? Yes. You know Jan Ullrich? Who was always the second after Lance Armstrong. So by that time we thought Lance Armstrong is a better cyclist than Jan Ullrich. Today we know Lance Armstrong had the better chemist than Jan Ullrich. And in fact, we can do the same here with you in Italy, because in 1 year there was a picture like that. Marco Pantani, always a little bit ahead of Jan Ullrich. And today we know it's only part of it in sport, and a lot of that is chemistry, because both of them were gold, like all the others were by that time. And in fact, doping is not a sport. Doping is always a race between 2 chemists, between a drug designer and an analytical chemist. In most cases, the drug designer is a little bit ahead of the analytical chemist. So we started teaching chemistry from that, He took a lot of newspaper articles about doping, and you can be sure every June again it comes up when the Tour de France is, or if the Giro d'Italia starts, or the Olympic Games. There are always a lot of reports. We started to develop some laboratory experiments for secondary schools where the students can learn how chemical analytics work on the example of doping analytics. For example, screening tests for different substances, chromatography, spectroscopy, making fingerprints of molecules to identify them, and so on. Nevertheless, the decision whether doping is doping or not is not a decision of the chemist. It's a decision of some politicians. So the students also learn that the chemists are only those developing the drugs, making the analytics, providing information, but all this is embedded in a larger framework where after that the WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency, decides whether something is doping or not. So you might not know, but about 10-15 years ago, caffeine was an illegal doping substance in some kinds of sports. Caffeine, coffee. So, especially in dancing sports, if you see the dancers, especially the female dancers, very slim girls, small, 2 or 3 coffees would have been much more than they were allowed to drink. Today, caffeine is free. You are allowed to drink that. If you have an exam in school, no problem. But this is the same caffeine. So they should learn that there's a lot of chemistry and how to do that, but in the end, there's much more around it like that. This is a lesson plan we do with students about 16 years old. We do some similar things also with younger ones. So there's also some chemistry, and you may know Materazzi from Inter Mailand. And we took some examples like him, because there's a lot of things to do with chemistry. I don't know whether he took doping, there's no proof for that yet. But if you look on his arms, there's a lot of chemistry under his skin, the tattoos. There's the essence. So we started talking with our students about the chemistry of tattoo colors. And we ordered some. These are very cheap colors you can buy with eBay from Hong Kong. They are illegal in Germany. You are not allowed to take them. You are allowed in Italy to take them because you don't have a law on tattoo colors. We got one 3 years ago.